Did you know that Vietnam has the lowest adult obesity rate, sitting at just 2.1%? When you compare that with the UK that sits around 30% and the US which sits at 40%, you realize something fast. And that's that here in the West, our environment, our lifestyle and our habits are broken. And that's led to astronomical rates of obesity. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you about the Vietnamese secrets to fat loss so that you can finally lose fat and keep it off for the rest of your life. Now you may be sat there thinking, well, obviously it's just genetics, but what you need to understand is that although genetics do play a factor, if you compare the obesity rates of the US at 40%, the UK at 30% and Vietnam at 2.1%, it cannot be solely based on genetic factors. It's just too much of a discrepancy. If you still think it's genetics, take a look at this picture. If you had no context at all, you would just assume I had bad genetics from that picture. Now take a look at this picture. Again, if you had no context, you would assume I have amazing genetics, so clearly the issue is not genetics. The real reason behind this discrepancy is the habits and the lifestyle of the individuals in these countries. Of course, there are other factors that come into play, but if we take a look at the Western world's obesity problem, the biggest driving factor is the lives that people lead. Whereas when you look at the Vietnamese population who stay relatively lean without a crazy diet or counting calorie culture, you have to take an objective view and ask, what are they doing differently? Well, maybe you're thinking, well, it's just because they're poor, but over the last decade, they've had more access to food, restaurants, and modern conveniences, yet the obesity rate has stayed flat. Yet the obesity rate in Western countries is going up year after year after year. The obesity rate in the last 50 years in the US has tripled, and in the UK, it's gone up 10 times. Yes, 10 times. That shocked me too. So what has changed over the last few decades? Well, it's the way we eat, the way we move, and the way we interact with food. So I want to break down the principles that make staying lean over there so easy and how you can apply those same principles in a Western environment. Because once you understand that fat loss comes down to your environment, the lifestyle you lead, and the habits you have over willpower, fat loss is going to become 10 times easier for you. By the way, in case you didn't know already, if you click the second link in the description, over the next 17 days, I will send you 17 emails containing the exact blueprint that I personally used to lose over 70 pounds of body fat. So the question remains, what are the Vietnamese secrets to fat loss and how can you apply them to your life? Well, the first thing you tend to notice about the way the Vietnamese people tend to eat is that their portion sizes are very big. You'll typically see bowls of soup, broths, mountains of vegetables, lean protein and rice, and the meals don't look small or restrictive at all. But the key difference you can see between a Vietnamese diet and a Western diet is that the foods they consume have a very low calorie density and a really high water content. Again, soups, broths, and vegetables. There is also very little ultra processed food or added fats. They end up eating a larger volume of food for a relatively low amount of calories, which is the complete opposite of how most people in the West eat. In countries like the United States and the United Kingdom, people tend to eat a lot of foods that are high calorie dense with added fats, added sugar, and ridiculous amounts of calories. So although it may not look like they're eating a lot of food, the calorie intake is very high. That's why so many fat people claim that they're not eating that much food, but they just can't seem to lose fat. And again, in contrast with the Vietnamese diet, the portion sizes are larger. They take longer to eat and fill up space in your stomach so you feel full before you eat too many calories. That's the whole point of building your diet around low calorie dense foods, because you can physically eat more food. That way you're not going to have to rely on willpower or constantly ignoring cravings. You just feel full so you don't overeat. And that's why Vietnam, a country where the majority of people aren't counting calories, has the lowest obesity rate in the world, because the structure of their diet does the heavy lifting for them. So what you should take from this is that you need to be making your meals bigger whilst at the same time making them less calorific, which means adding more vegetables and more lean protein sources to your diet, like low fat percentage beef, chicken breast and white fish, as well as eating more soup and broth based dishes and cutting down on ultra processed high calorie dense foods. And by doing that, you're going to make fat loss easier overall, because you're not going to be constantly battling hunger or cravings, because you're eating more food for less calories. Now, the next Vietnamese secret to fat loss is constant low level movement, and that's something that people in the West just do not do. Vietnamese people aren't doing cardio as such. They don't track it, schedule it, or think about it. They're just moving all day. Even when they are using scooters, there is still loads of walking involved, to markets, to shops, to meet friends, and most daily errands require movement. And because of that, their calorie expenditure remains high without ever feeling like they're doing exercise. Now, if you compare that to how the average Westerner lives, they drive to work, sit at their desk for 8 or 9 hours, drive home, then sit on the sofa until it's time to go to bed. And then a small percentage of people try and undo 23 hours of sedentary living with 1 hour in the gym, and then people wonder why it's so hard to lose fat. The biggest issue in the West is the structure of their everyday movement. They're not really getting much, whereas in environments like Vietnam, movement is just built into everyday life. It's automatic, and that constant low-level activity equates to thousands of extra calories burnt each week without excess fatigue or hunger creeping in. That is also why fat loss stalls for so many people once they drop their calories, because when you drop your calories, your energy drops, which means your level of movement drops, which means the amount of calories you burn drops, meaning less fat loss. And without even realizing it, a lot of people move less and less as their diet goes on. So that means they are consuming less calories, but they are burning less calories, meaning their fat loss stalls or stops completely. In contrast, if your baseline of low-level movement is high, you are never going to have to rely on adding more and more cardio, and thus your energy level is never going to crash because you just move as part of your day-to-day life. So what you need to do is move more and more often, incorporate low-intensity activity into your day. The way I personally do this is just walking anywhere that's feasible, so to the gym, to the supermarket, and to see friends. Of course, if where you're going is miles away, you don't need to walk the entire way, but can you walk part of the way? One of the biggest and quickest wins that I usually give people is to get off one stop before they're supposed to on their commute to work, or park a little bit further away. Trust me, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up massively. And eventually that level of movement will just become part of your lifestyle and you won't even notice it anymore. And that's when losing fat and keeping it off becomes easy. The next one is something that's a bit less obvious, but psychologically it can make a massive difference. In Vietnam, food is a meal. It's eaten at meal times, often with other people, and once you're finished, you go about your day. Food isn't something that's constantly thought about, and it's definitely not consumed as something to curb boredom, which is so common in Western society. I can remember so many times back when I was fat that I would have just ate lunch or dinner. I would sit down on the sofa, stick on the TV. I wouldn't really be into what I'm watching, and then 10 minutes or so later, I would feel bored, I'd feel tired, I'd be like, what am I really doing? Head to the kitchen, before I know it, pack of crisps gone, couple biscuits, and a pint of ice cream. 1,000 calories for no reason. That's the same for so many people. They snack when they're bored, when they're stressed, when they're tired, and they just want a hit of dopamine. And that's the point where food stops being fuel or something that's social and starts becoming something that's almost like entertainment. And that's when all appetite control goes out the window. You're no longer eating because you're hungry. You're eating as a form of entertainment, and that's why mindless snacking is such a massive problem. In Vietnam, snacking is way less common. They eat meals until they are full and then they stop eating. They aren't constantly grazing from morning to night, and that alone makes calorie intake way lower on average. And when you eat proper meals without all the snacking in between, your hunger hormones will start to regulate properly, and you're not going to feel hungry all the time, and you will feel satisfied after food. Whereas if you're just constantly snacking all the time, your body never gets that signal, and that's when hunger and cravings go through the roof, and you're never going to be able to tell if you're actually hungry or if you're just wanting food for the sake of it. That is why fat loss can feel so mentally taxing at times, because you aren't just fighting against calories and macros, you're fighting against deep-rooted habits, emotions, and dopamine loops that have been stuck with you for years. And I'm not saying don't enjoy food. It should be enjoyed as part of your daily life, but it shouldn't be used to get a quick dopamine hit. If you can make your two main focuses of food to be fuel and something that's social, fat loss is going to become, again, so much easier. And that shift alone is going to take you from someone who just can't lose fat to someone who stays lean year-round with ease. And this next one is the one that I think is the biggest reason why Vietnam has the lowest obesity rate in the world, and it's they have no on and off diet mentality. People there aren't dieting. No one is sitting there saying, I'm going to do some intense 3-month cut and get all this fat off. They aren't being good during the week and then going completely off the rails on the weekend. There isn't cheat days, reward meals, or starting again over and over again every Monday. Food is just food, and because there is no extreme restriction, there is also no rebound. Now let's compare that to what people in the West do. People hop from diet to diet to diet, whatever's the latest trending one, they cut calories drastically, and they tell themselves that entire food groups are completely off limits, and then after one slip up, they binge. That is not sustainable long term. When food is treated like something that needs to be restricted and avoided, your brain and your body is waiting for the first chance it gets to overcompensate. Because of that, so many people get stuck in the never-ending cycle of dieting, losing a bit of fat, then falling off and gaining it all back, and then repeat every few months. If you compare that to building a lifestyle to where there is no on and off switch, there is quite literally nothing to rebound from. And that's when fat loss, and more importantly keeping the fat off, becomes effortless, because there is no finish line. No, oh, I'll just eat like this for a few weeks and then go back to how I was eating. There is one way of eating that you enjoy and that you can stick to for the rest of your life. So if you want any fat loss to last, you can't think of dieting as a temporary phase. You need to build something that fits in with your everyday life, so that you can remove the mentality of on and off dieting, so that fat loss just becomes a byproduct of your way of life. So at this point you have a clear understanding of why the obesity rate in Vietnam is the lowest in the world, but the question is, how do you apply it to your life as an individual? Well, firstly, I will just say that you don't have to eat a typical Vietnamese diet, and you don't have to follow their exact way of life, but you do have to apply the principles of the way they eat and the way they live if you want to make fat loss easy. So first and foremost, do more walking, not more cardio. You need to get out of the mindset that fat loss happens in the gym, because the majority of it happens outside of the gym. So build walking into your day. Walk everywhere you can, walk part of your commute, and do a morning or evening walk. Genuinely, it will become the favorite part of your day. That constant level of low movement will beat any form of cardio you can imagine, because you can do it every day with ease, and that consistency beats intensity. Secondly, build your meals around high volume and high protein foods. Consume as many vegetables as you possibly can and eat lean protein regularly, and that way you're going to be able to eat more food for less calories. And at the same time as that, reduce the amount of ultra processed foods, high sugar and high fat content foods in your diet. You do not need to eliminate them completely, but the base of your diet should definitely be whole food. And eat meals, not snacks. You are so much better off having 3 proper meals a day than 6 or 7 mini meal snacking sessions. Stop eating snacks from morning to night because you're stressed or bored. That's just going to lead to excess calories and fat gain. And most importantly, stop treating fat loss as a temporary phase of your life. If you're only willing to stick to it for a few months, you are never going to see long-lasting results. Build a lifestyle you can sustain and you enjoy, and you will change your life forever. It's not about trying harder, it's about setting up your life in a way to where staying lean is just the default. And if you want my help with that and you want to lose fat and keep it off for the rest of your life, click the first link in the description. Other than that, if you enjoyed this video, leave it a like, share it with a friend, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.